Donna. It is Fed Friday.
It is Financial Fed Friday. So my clock says 10:01, Rita. What does yours say?
10:01. It says we need to get started.
That's what it says. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Thank you all so much for spending this Friday morning with us. And there we go. That's our thing. Financial Fed Friday. Let's move a little bit. Stick your shoulders up. Stick your arms out. Get your little movement in because it's Friday. And what better time to
Okay, I worked out this morning. I'm tired. Let's go.
Okay, well, I guess that won't me. I don't even know how to stop it. I'm going to hit. I don't know what just happened. But if you're used to being with us, you know we always have some sort of little, fun here in the morning with our presentation. But it is Friday morning at 10 o'clock. This is our Financial Fed Fridays seminar. Wait a minute, my head partly cut off. Got to see all my little head. And we meet here every morning at 10 a.m. on Friday for those of you joining us on the live webinar. And hi, Facebook, though, because we're broadcasting simultaneously. Check in on Facebook. Tell us where you're looking at us from. And what we do on this Fed Friday, Financial Fed Friday series is that we're just pulling back the curtain so that you can get an in-depth understanding of your federal employee benefits, best practices for retirement, and your best retirement investment options. So you can always register, send this link out to your friends, family, co-workers, all of your Facebook friends and family to register at www.ritabrolandevents.com. And of course, tell them to like us and follow us on Facebook. And so our whole purpose, the reason we started this is that we wanted you to understand, to have an in-depth understanding of your benefits, about your money, developing good spending and saving habits, and so that you can reach your financial destination. And that's where we're going to be picking up this week on your spending and savings habits. But before we do, we just want to put out our disclaimer because this is a very generic seminar. The information that we're going on, very general in scope. So without individual knowledge of your situation, we cannot individualize this presentation. But what we can do is when you contact us, and we want you to reach out and contact us, that's what we're here for, we can then individualize the information that we're sharing to fit your goals, looking at your financial picture. So with that in mind, please just accept this information as general in nature and context, and apply what fits your needs, but contact us, as I said, so that we can put together a plan for you. So thank you so much for understanding that. So moving forward, if you joined us at the beginning of the year, Rita tapped into there was a quiz that we did that said, what color is your money? And just like it says, you were saying, well, what does colors have to do with my money? And why is that important? Because, and what we went over and found out is that the amount of money we earn, save, and spend is driven by our personality and our beliefs, which in turn drive our choices. So in short, our money, the color of your money, reflects our overall personality, our lifestyles, and our values. And the personalities, when you took the test, and for those of you on the line that did not take it, if you want that, send us an email, contact us, we'll get it to you because this is very important because the personalities broke down into 5 groups. And you can see them here on the screen. If you were the green, you were green growth machines. And we gave you the information on what all of these categories mean. Blue, you're the cautious savers. Yellow, you're the happy spenders. Gray, you're conservative and content. And red, you are the debtors. So with the information that Rita is going to be going over now, we're going to break down how, our budgeting and spending, how each of these personalities can use this information on budgeting and spending and putting everything together. Rita, you want to go ahead from here?
Absolutely. Now, I hope I get this right, Ms. Jenkins. How do I flip to the next page?
You just hit enter. I did it. She did it.
I did. I feel like Dora the Explorer.
Yo, Isima, We did it.
So you guys, we're going to talk about creating a budget and why a budget is key. I would tell you, for me, this became so important to me. In 2001, I purchased my dream home. I love Southwest DC, and if anybody know about 6th Street Southwest, I used to live on 6th Street like 3 times. The last time prior to the house, I lived in this apartment. All utilities included. I was paying $750 for a 1-bedroom apartment in Southwest with a parking spot. And then they started building these really nice homes. If you live by or you work by LaFont Plaza, right there at the bridge across from HUD, on the other side of HUD, they built these really new townhouses. They tore down a parking lot and they put townhouses up. And, you know, I told Darlene I wanted to buy. Now, I knew I really could not afford to buy, but it was Southwest. It was a house. I was ready, and I just wanted this house. And so the first phase, I said, no, I think I'm going to move out of town. By the second phase, I started thinking, I decided not to move. So by that third phase that they were selling, I decided to go buy. Now, I buy the biggest one. So if you ever come through the 9th Street Tunnel, that first house on the end is yellow. That was my house. It was the biggest house on the lot. Why I bought that house? God has a way of helping out babies and food. Needless to say, I was not a baby because I was in my 30s. So, you know, I had to get the food, but that's okay. And so, so I buy this house, and then my credit score was low. My scores was in the low 500, but I wanted this house. And I was during the time where the loan sharks were out. They would give anybody a loan. And they said, okay, Ms. Bailey, your credit is bad. We can give you this house. The house was $475,000 in 2001. Now, if anybody that knows me, I love home interior decorating. So I'm going, what's the word? I'm gonna bling out a house. So the kitchen was marble floors and granite countertops and stainless steels, and the house was like a showroom. I added 50-something thousand of additions. So the house was $525,000 in 2001. A girl with bad credit. So they said, Miss Beverly, you can get this house, but we need you to put down 10%. So in 2001, I had to put down $52,000 on a house with bad credit. And because I had bad credit, my interest rate was 10.475. My mortgage was, and I know if you at work, don't scream because I don't want you to have no issues. And if you drive, I don't want you to hit nothing. So I'm going to prep you. My mortgage was $4,751.53. People say, how do you remember that? Paying $4,751.53, you never forget it. And so I just went through 3 years of just struggling, but it was my dream home. So how many of you on this line, I know I'm not the only one, who buy stuff that we really can't afford just because we really want it. And I really wanted it. And then I decided I'm going to refinance. I can get a lower interest. Well, needless to say, I owed IRS a lot of money. I owed Maryland a lot of money. So I refinanced, I paid Maryland. And then guess what? My mortgage goes up to $5,051.52. So for the last year, and in 2004, the Lord told me to sell my house. And I told, I woke up that night and I told God, he couldn't have been talking to me because Rita was in her dream home. And so simply, you wasn't talking to me. And then the next night he sent me a dream and he said, there's going to be massive foreclosures. Yours going to be one of them. He said that the house won't be worth $1 million anytime soon like you think, and I'm going to prepare a program for you. Darlene is my witness, Sophia and Bobby. I called all 3 of them that morning, so I'm putting my house on the market. The Lord just spoke to me twice, and I'm going to sell this house. Now, I'm going to tell you, I had shame and I was embarrassed because here's my dream house. I'm living in Southwest. I had a Lexus. I was living up tailor-made suits with my name on it. I was like, I got to sell my house. And so my pride would not let me put a sell sign on it in the yard. I just needed, if you didn't have an agent know it was for sale, you wouldn't have got it. And so there's much more to the story about the girl, how I sold it, but I sold that house for $805,000. So when I say, if you ever hear something, I'm not being spiritual, but it's okay for you to feel me. If you hear something from an internal, something inside of you, tell you to do something different, you probably know that you need to do what that little small voice said. I'm glad I listened to the Lord that second night, because that morning when I woke up, I made a decision. I sold that house. I made $200-something thousand of profit. But that was because the Lord was looking out for a fool who didn't really need to have this house from the beginning. Jenkins, I tell you, I looked at my journal. I found a journal last year or the year before last. And in the journal, I had already wrote in the journal like 2 weeks before closing, you cannot afford this house. You and God have made this decision for you to sell it 6 months in. So sell the house, take your little $52,000, whatever gain you met, and walk. Well, who knows? We get into them houses and we love our houses and our car. I forgot all about that I was supposed to sell that house. So I guess the Lord said 6 months gone by, a year gone by, 2. So this fool is not thinking about selling this house. So let me send her some dreams. And let me send her another dream because she didn't hear me the first time. Listen and pay attention. So from that became where a budget became key to me, because being self-employed like we are, our checks are never the same. And so without a budget, we're absolutely out of our minds and we don't really know. And with a budget, it still could be crazy, but at least I know what I expect to come in and what needs to go out. So as you think about your budget, you see on the screen, what you got to list is all of your income. You got to list your wages, your interest income, your dividends. If you got any refunds, some of you guys are going to have some tax refunds, anything that you have to, because some of you are living above your means like I was. So you having to transfer funds from your savings to your checking every month just so you can make your bills meet. But we have that there too, and any other income. Maybe you get child support or you get an alimony. But one of the things I remember my mentor, John James, told us, and I'll never forget it. Not that I always paid attention to what he said, and I failed a few times, but I actually get it. He said, you cannot spend income. You can only spend income. So what's income? Some of y'all already planning to spend that tax refund. When I get that tax refund, I'm going to do blah, 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 blah. That's called income. Now we know it's coming, but it's not here yet. It's not income. It's not income till it's in your hands. So make sure you don't spend anything that you don't have. So list all of your sources of your income. One thing I will also tell you that if you're married, you need to do this budget with your husband or with your wife. Now I do know that's a little complicated because my husband, just like he been doing this budget and his money for 30 some years. He's very good with money, but he get married to me. All of a sudden he act like he's slow and he don't know how to do a budget anymore or how to share. But it's always important to do it together, because if anything ever happened, the other spouse needs to understand it. Now, because I understand living isn't just 12 items on a budget. So if you look here on our budget, we have everything related to your home, whether it's a mortgage, rent, your gas bill, electricity, phone, cable, your lawn care, and then maintenance or supplies. And for some of us, we need somebody to come clean our house every couple of weeks because we just don't have the energy or feel like cleaning up. Whatever that is, you need to have all of that in. Now, the first column says projected. The second column is your actual. So there are some things like your mortgage or your rent or your car note, some things you know exactly what it is. Your income, unless you're working overtime or you have a bonus, your income is pretty much the same. So you're projected. You can pretty much put the actual and the projected. But there's things like your cell phone bill, if you have some more minutes, or your gas bill, or just, gas in the car. Those things may be different. So we ask you to project it first because it's important for you to have an idea of what it looks like. And so we want you to do that. And then on the other side, and there's some more to the budget, and I'll go over that. When you look at your car note, you got to put your car insurance, the gas. If you don't have a car and you catch the bus, or some of you have a car and you carpool to a lot, and you drive to a lot, and then you get on the shuttle bus to take you somewhere downtown. Add up everything. Now, repairs is one of those things that you don't have every month. But so you'll see too a little later, I'm going to show you another little, part of this spreadsheet that tells you how to project it. So let's say your car is 6 years old. It's kind of fairly new, but you think you're going to put about $2,000 of cars, changing tires, gas, oil changes, and tune-ups, 2,000. So 2,000 divided by 12, whatever that number is, you put it in that column for repair. Now, the first month you don't need anything. The second month you don't need anything. The third month, but by that fourth month you need to go get $400 for two new tire. Then you pull it from that fund. I'm going to show you how to keep track of all of that. You also need to have your daily living. Why? What's that? Because we got to eat. We got to have some personal supplies, like our toiletries and things like that. You're going to buy some clothes. But ladies and brothers that like to shop, but normally it's the lady. We don't need to get some clothes every month. We really just don't need to. Unless you just lost a lot of weight or you gained some weight, you're going to have to. But we don't need any more clothes. Now, trust me, I know, because before this last move, I had clothes I had pocketbooks and stuff at Darlene's house. I had 4 big bags of clothes, 4 of these, this size, at my best friend's house. My pastor had about 4 of those same bags. My mother had coats, and I had 3 closets in the house full of clothes. Now, That's another class that we'll teach, because all those clothes wasn't about me enjoying clothes. Those clothes was about me not feeling good about myself. And so clothes was a way to deal with my own emotional stuff. But so if you got a whole bunch of clothes, it's probably not because you really just love clothes. It's something else connected to that. And we could talk about that offline. So you look here, eating out, salon, you know, we got these nice little locks or short hair. However, you got to keep it up. You got to go to the hair. Yeah, you go, darling. You got to go to the barber. So put all of this in there. Your pet, you can't forget them pets, because even though y'all may not think about them pets cost money. Y'all got insurance, y'all got food, some of them got doggy daycare. So you need to make sure that you do all of that for your budgeting. And then it gets to your entertainment. This is where most of y'all don't want to do a budget, because you don't want to let go of your entertainment. Your budget is here. This budget just shows you where you are and what you can afford to have. Sometimes we need to just tweak it. So I tell everybody, do your budget the way you normally live. And then when we get together, we'll come up with a system so that you can live. I still go to the movies, but guess what we use? We use those coupons that we used to get from the union. We would buy them discount tickets for $6, or you use your little card. You get the cards from AMC, and what's the other one, Darlene? I forgot the name of the other thing.
I would say Royal, but you know.
Yeah, that one. You use a card. Every now and then you get a free popcorn, you get a free movie. So it's like your charge card is the
Regal. That's what it is, Regal.
And there's all different ways for you to save money. Concerts and plays. Now, what's so interesting about a concert is that you ask somebody to pay $40 or something that relates to their money or their mind. They think $40, $50 too much, but they would spend $200 to go to a Beyonce concert. Now, it's a good thrill, and you may be able to talk about it in life, but will it actually change your life, your financial life? So just look at this here, your budgeting, outdoor, all of that stuff is on your budget. Then the other part of your budget talks about your health care. Now, most of you work for your job. If you're putting your net income up there, you don't have to worry about putting your health care, because that's part of your gross check and is deducted. But if you go to the doctor and you have co-pays, or if you've got, prescriptions that you get every month, you go to the gym, you belong to Goals, Planet Fitness, or some other gym, put those fees or your life insurance is important. And if that column is blank, you definitely need to call us, because we're going to be talking about that next month. You need to have life insurance. Now, why is that important? And I know we talking about your budget, but remember, if you guys know my story, my mother died when I was 11. She was 34 years old. Having life insurance is critical, especially if you have children, or there's people like me. I don't have any kids, but there's people in my life who I care about. And I know if I left this world today, I would want them taken care of. First is my husband. Second is this business. I want Darlene and Robert to be able to continue if I'm gone. I have my uncle. So put that into your budget. Is important to have. Charity. We all gonna give something. Now, I know some of y'all just stop right now talking about charity start at home. Y'all ain't giving nobody nothing. Just stop that. You got to give somebody something. You can't expect to be giving so much and not be able to give something back. So for me, it's tithes, and I give to charity, and I like the house for the thing for children. And I think I'm inclined to deal with children hospitals and things like that, because when I was born with asthma. In the first 3 years of my life, I stayed in the hospital. I was born with 6 fingers. So just in case any of y'all ever wonder where that short finger come from, I was born with 6 fingers, and it was attached to here. So I was in a hospital for surgeries, drafting skin off my leg, put it on so it can make me look like normal people. But I know I'm still like a little animal, but that's all right. When I used to fight, when I was young, I used to fight, and I just stick this finger in people's eyes. Okay, I'm back. I had a flashback, y'all.
Come back to us.
Okay, so we get down here to your charities and your donations, and then your subscriptions and all of this stuff. Now, in a second, this is important for you to put on your budget. Emergency is one fund, savings is another, because emergency fund means that that's something that you don't touch unless it's really emergency. No, not your kids need some new shoes, or you want to buy a new, and if it's a new car, if it's something that you really need for your car. So savings, you need money for your savings account. What is savings? Savings just you need to have some savings, or you saving for a trip, or you saving for something. You need those things are different. Retirement. It's something you need, a 401k, a Roth IRA, or you have a 457 on your job, or whatever it is, you need to invest in your retirement plan. Now, we have other vehicles other than that, but if you're being match money, we don't want you to get rid of your free money. There's also some investing. I know a lot of you guys are my clients. You invest in stocks, or your mutual funds. You've done well. Education, whether it's education for you or for them babies. You want them to go to school. Don't wait till it's 2 years before it's time for them to go to college, and you trying to go crazy because you got to come up with all this money, or you now got to go withdraw everything out of your retirement plan because for 20 years you saved for retirement. You didn't save for them. Now you're about to take a tax hit on some money that had you saved a different way would have made sense. Sit down and talk to us so we can help you. And just other things that you want to save for. Obligations, them student loans, them credit cards, alimony, taxes, put all of this in your budget. And when you all finish, you're going to really see where you are. And the budget is so important because many of us think we're one place. When I'm talking to you, well, my bill's only about 2, because all you think about is the bills you get every month. What mess up most people are the bills, not that they get every month, the ones that come every quarter, the car repairs. Like for me, I own 3 timeshares. That was during my crazy days. Remember that's another story. But I got maintenance fees. The maintenance fee on 2 of those timeshares is $1,600. So I have to put aside every single month about $140 a month to cover those timeshare fees. If I don't, I'm even going to have to charge it or go into my savings and draw from it. And so that's why you want to make sure. These are things like your bank fees. You may get stamps and other obligations, just miscellaneous. You want everything in your budget. Now let's talk about this. Let me show you this other screen, and I'm gonna. So here is where we just talking about your. So this is your vacation fund, your presents, because we're gonna all give somebody gifts. There's Christmas, birthday, your children graduating, or your niece graduating, or somebody getting married. We're gonna always give away some gifts. So you need to have your vacation fund, your present fund, your spending money. And so what it means that every month you're going to put $200. So let's say your goal is that you're going to go on 2 vacations. You estimate it's going to be $2,400. So we say put $200 in your budget every month for that vacation. For presents, you're gonna give a good $600 a year. So some of you spend $1,000, $2,000 at Christmas time, and it's okay if that's what you want, but it should be in your budget. So let's say for your vacation, every month is going in there. So your first month, your balance is $200. This is February, $400. March, and let's say in April you went on a trip, and let's say you went here and you spent $600. So that means your balance is $200, and then next month, so you see, so you got to keep adding to it. It's not adding up. Yeah, there it goes, 200. So keep adding to it so you can get to your limit. Say over here, we spend $400. So it changes your numbers, and that's what you want your budget to do. So keep track of it. We can send you this. We can go over with you. But it's important to know that your budget is critical, because without a budget, you are potentially exposing yourself and your family to a financial crisis simply because you do not have a budget. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is savings, and I got to get back now. You guys know I'm the rookie, so.
And Rita, while you're switching back to the other presentation, I just want to say that when you do this budget, it's so important. And some of you on the line, we've gone over this with you, but I know for myself, when you go over your budget, you will see where you are, where there's wasteful spending. So for myself, I, have a passion to cook. It's in my heart. I'm still transferring it over through my hands. But I bought a lot of groceries. And so when I did my budget, I said, I think I'm spending about $150 a month on groceries, going out. I think I'm spending about maybe $100 because I'm going out with Rita, I'm taking my daughter out. But when I actually went through my bank statements and, added up, I was spending $250 a month on groceries from the grocery store, but then I was also spending another $200 to $300, it varied, on eating out. And then it dawned on me, wait a minute, you're spending more money going out than you are buying groceries. This is why you always have freezer burnt food that you have to throw away. So I said, oh no. So I cut down going out, and now I'm cooking more. I'm like, no more just throwing money away, because when we have to throw away freezer burnt food, that's what we're doing. And I saw that meat, those vegetables, as $15 going in the trash, $20 going in the trash. I'm like, I can't afford that. I'm a single parent. So this budget will bring to your eyesight so you can see exactly the flow of your money and help you, identify those areas of waste.
Yep. And I know you guys, we normally get off, so give me about 5 or 6 minutes. So, and one of the things Jenkins talked a lot, I didn't go into my whole story with the house, but one of the other things too was about, I started changing, drinking coffee at the Starbucks to the 7-Eleven, back down to Maxwell House, good to the last drop. But I also started to bring my lunch if I'm in the office. So if you see, I have my lunch bag, and in my lunch bag, I just want you guys to know, I bring everything to lunch. I got my lemon for my drink. I ain't gonna buy now. I got my avocado. I got my granola for my oatmeal. I got my stacks for my nut. I got my banana. And then I got, if you do go out, I normally try to go somewhere where I'm gonna have a second meal out of it. So I got some leftovers. So that's for lunch. So try to create your budget and just, for me, just because my sister did my taxes, she said, Rita, this is ridiculous. I see you going out every day 2 to 3 times in one day. You went to Panera for breakfast, Chick-fil-A for lunch. You went somewhere for dinner. Like, that's ridiculous. And it's embarrassing when you add up those receipts. So keep your budget. So going to talk about savings really quick, and then we're going to be off and running. So savings, why is that important for us to save? Savings is the one bill that most individuals are delinquent in paying. Means that you pay all your other bills, but you don't pay yourself first. And paying yourself first is putting money into your savings. So you need to develop some reason to save and some motivation. Trust me, the story that I tell you guys sometimes is that Joe Dudley talked about how he didn't have a lot of money when he first got started. And he used to go to the bank with $5, and the teller used to kind of laugh and smirk like, this man really coming here with $5. And eventually them $5 went to $50 and $500. And Joe Dudley had a college. He has all kind of hair products. He was probably depositing $50,000. What he was doing, he said, was creating the habit of saving. So even if it's tight for you and your budget, you're living on 110% of your income, even if you just saving $1, or if you just go to the store and you break a $5 bill and you get 52 cents left, take that 52 cents, put it home and put it into your piggy bank. Something is more important. What you want to do is create the habit of saving. You want to utilize automatic draft. So for you, if you work for the government or if you have an employer who would take it out your paycheck, use it where you have an allotment where money is going to a savings account. And don't put it in the savings account with your ATM card. ATM is called most. It's called most because it gives most of our money. We put it in, we take it out. We put it in, we take it out. So you don't want to put it where you have easy access. Put it to a credit union in a state where your mother live, or some other place that you don't have access to it easy. Save half of your raises or cash flow increases. So some of y'all, already bought a new car on a raise. Save half of it. You was living on that old paycheck. Even if it was tight, you still was making it. So if you get a $62, it's only $62. What do you do with $62? With $32 a pay period for a whole year is some money. So put that $32 up and get in the habit of living off of 70% of your income. You guys, this could take a long time. And this with me, I was preaching it way before I was telling it, but I've gotten to a point where I live off of 60 to 65% of my income just because I'm self-employed. So I have to put up more money for taxes, but get in the habit of living. That means that you cannot afford it on the 70%. So for me, it's tithing 10%, it's saving 10. And then I do my taxes at 15 to 20%. So you need to get in the habit of saving. Now for you, it could be 10% tithe, 10% saving, 10% for investing, or your children. Some of you guys got grown kids, and no matter what I say, you're going to still get them grown kids some money. Well, make that part of it or something. And then live off your 70%. Make sure you live in there. And then you need to put together a financial action plan, and that Ms. Jenkins will send that to you guys next week. Next Monday, right, darling? We'll attach that. Now, why is it important to save? Let's look at what saving would do for you. It's called the latte factor. Now, I didn't create it, but I make this sound like it's because I used to drink lattes, caramel, soy, macchiato lattes and all that. And y'all know at Starbucks, that's about $5. So what if I just didn't go there every day? Like I told you, I stopped going there. Just that $5 a week saving was $25. And I was drinking coffee every day. So let's just go with 5 days. 25 times 4, that's $100 just from coffee. What if I could get a 7% return? And if I'm 40, when I started making that switch, that's $81,000 I saved. That wasn't any new money. That was money that I was already spending. Remember, my whole goal to help you is to move money out your left pocket and put it into your right pocket. All you did was took the coffee that you were buying at Starbucks, or you're going to get like me. We got a pod machine here. We got a Keurig machine at home. So you can find a way to make it cheap for you. Well, what if you can say, you know what? Let me cut out coffee, and maybe I eat out lunch every day. Let me eat out lunch only 2 days. Let me bring my leftovers that I'm throwing away because I'm not eating them after I cook dinner. Let me take that $10. That's $30 a week. That's $120 plus your coffee. That's $230. You can get $200, and maybe you can find 4%, and you're gonna and you 50, and you can then save another $50,000. This just shows you, depending. Some of you guys say, well, Rita, where you gonna find 7, 9%, 12? I'm not saying that the banks are paying that anymore, but you may have some investments. You may have your, the stock market or whatever where you saving it. It's just a potential for you to put it away. And guess what? Even if it's only 3% or 2%, it's better than blowing it into something that you really don't need. So I would prefer to have $30,000 as opposed to having no thousand. Maybe it don't make it to the 100,000. It's projected, but it's 30. It's 30 more than what I had if I hadn't spent it on some food and some coffee. And for most of us, most of our waste is on eating out. And for some of us, it's clothes. But that is where most people blow their money, is eating. Now, it was interesting, darling, and I'm almost finished. I met with a guy. He lived in Texas, and we did his budget over the phone. Mm-hmm. His entertainment budget, him and his son went to the movie. His entertainment for the movies, y'all, was $700 a month. His savings, he was saving absolutely nothing. But him and his son went to the movies every weekend, and he said they would go on the movies Friday and Saturday, and they would see 5 and 6 movies. I'm like, was there any? You saw every movie that was out every single weekend. And of course, they eating lunch there. They may be eating dinner, pop, on just the movies. So you don't have anything saved, but you're spending $700 at the movie. So check out your budget. Here is the proposed financial action plan. So let's look at this. Let me move this thing out of my way. So you're going to look at your top 5 values. And one of the values is security. Some of you say, I just want to be secure. I want to make sure I'm not going to have to be old, and I'm not going to have to worry. So what do you want to do? You want to increase your net worth by 10% in 2018. What specific and measurable actions will you take? You're going to start an IRA or your TSP Roth using half of the funds allocated for retirement. So you may not shift it all to TSP. Over 5% is free, but you may want to move some of that money to a Roth where it's tax-free. Talk to us. We can help you understand all of that. What are you going to do the next 48 hours? Why is that there? Because we procrastinators, and we're going to put this thing off. I'm going to do it on Monday. I'm going to do it on next Friday. I swear on my next paycheck. We're procrastinators by heart. And what they say is that procrastination is the thief of tomorrow. So it steals our tomorrow. So determine the company to use, the funds to reserve for your reserve account. Where are you going to use it? Where are you going to put it? Make an action plan and enlist help. That's what we do this every Friday, not just to give you information. Call Darlene, call me. We're here to help you do that. And give yourself a start line, a start date, and a finish date. You're going to start this thing on Monday the 29th, and you're going to have it done by the 2nd. Just that one thing. Just do one thing. If you just start to take your financial plan and bites and pieces out, I'm going to do this week. I'm going to complete my budget over the next 3-4 days. I'm going to do this. Make a plan. A person without a plan is what? They ain't have a plan, so they don't have nothing that's going to, if you can't see it, and that's even in the word, we got to put it in writing. We got to make it plain. So put it down, make it specific and measurable. Make sure you enlist some help and give yourself a start line. And don't just say you're going to start it. Give yourself an end date. Because if we don't, we're going to ever do something. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Without having a timeline and schedule, it never gets done. So planning is bringing your future into the present so that you can do something about it now. I want you to budget now. So when you owe, you can enjoy what this couple is here. They walk in the beaches of the world, and they're not worrying about it because their budget has allocated for vacation and for them to enjoy it. That's what we want you to do. So what's coming up next, y'all? February, we talking about loving yourself month. Now I know y'all thinking about y'all gonna love y'all. I know I got a husband, so I'm looking for, I don't know what I'm looking for because I really don't need nothing, but I'm gonna try to give him the bottom stuff.
We're always looking for chocolate.
Yeah, but you know, give me something, you know, I don't know, get my nails done. But Love Yourself Month, and we're going to be talking about Your Heart Matters. And even though you see these titles, we got some real twist to it. Ensure your love, because we're insuring everything else. Have you really insured your love? And we'll talk about that too. We made the commitment. Now you need to put a ring on it. Now, what's the ring? I almost put up the wrong finger, didn't I?
Girl,
you gotta put a ring on it. I know, girl. I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute. Girl, Pastor, you looking, you see, I caught it, Pastor, I caught it. But you're going to put a ring on it. And what is that ring? We're going to talk about what that ring means for us. And loving the skin you're in, diversity in the workplace. We're going to have a special guest, Allison Manswell, who's my life coach, and she's done some phenomenal work with helping people in corporate America and all over understand how to deal with this. So we got to love ourselves, and we need to not just love our skin that we're in, but we got to love the other person's skin that they're in. And so we're going to talk about some really good stuff this month. And so I think that's pretty much it, Darlene. And do you have anything to share? I hope you guys got something out of it. I'm sorry I went over, but budgeting is important to me because it's the foundation of your wealth. And trust me, you guys, I am the CPA graduate of George Washington University, got a degree in accounting, been doing this business 28 years, and it took me 24 years to get this thing in my, 20 years to get it in my head. My budget has been tight the last 8 years, and it doesn't always have to be pretty. I got that Excel spreadsheet, but what I carry in my purse, I carry my budget with a piece, and every time I spend something, I'm monitoring. Every time I pay a bill, I'm looking at it because I don't want to mess up. So that's all. I think I done talked a lot, girl. I need some water.
And we do have what's called, and we're done. We do have something though. If you really want to see what you're spending your money on, it's going to take commitment. But we have what's called the 7-day challenge, where you write down everything that you spend, so you can see for yourself, what am I spending my money on? And we'll send it out to you. You have to keep track. Once you see the pattern, what I found with myself is that, like, as I was spending my money, I'm like, oh, I don't want to put that down again. But you have to put it down so you can see where your money is going. You're working for the money. You deserve the money. So you should get the money first, and not Miss Macy's, Mr. T-Mobile, or whatever you're spending your money on. Right, Starbucks. So I hope this has been helpful and informative to you. Please join us next week on the broadcast. Bring someone when you come. Let them know that it's Love Yourself Month and that you love them enough to tell them about this broadcast. So we look forward to seeing you here next week. Thank you so much for sticking with us and staying on the broadcast longer. And if you have any questions, type them real quick in the questions and answers. Thank you, Facebook, for hanging in there with us. And you all have a great weekend. Thank you, Sheridan. You have a great weekend also.
Yeah.
Any questions, anyone? All right. Well, we appreciate you. So we'll see you next week.
We got to check Facebook, darling. Did you check Facebook? I don't know how to do that.
Thank you, Facebook.
Okay.
Oh,
they didn't
I don't know what Rita do.
I know that was me, because I don't know how to. I don't know. That's okay. I turned it off. But Facebook, if you have any questions, I'm going to answer. I'm going to come back. But every time I hit the button, it go live. So
that's okay. Well, thank you all. Have a great weekend. It's going to be beautiful outside. You stay beautiful on the inside. Look forward to seeing you next week.
Wait a minute. For all of the ladies and all the men, share. I'm having a women's event next week. I'll bring you more information. But save the date, February the 24th. We're going to really have a great time. It's a women's event called I Am My Sister's Keeper, Breaking Barriers. So we're going to break some barriers that we got within ourselves, and we're going to just get ourselves. We're going to have some fun. So save the date. All right.
All right. Thank you all. Have a great day.